Peace, it's Dave from Malcolm Fitness, and today we were talking about the ketogenic diet, more commonly known as the keto diet. So, first of all, what exactly is the keto diet? So, the keto diet is a diet that was invented in the early 1900s and named about 1921, and was given the name the ketogenic diet because the goal of the diet is to put you into something called ketosis. So this diet was actually developed as a treatment for childhood epilepsy. And it goes back to something that was noticed a very long time ago. We've got sources going back to around 400 BCE that document that people who had seizures, if you starve them, will often stop having seizures. And it turns out starving them isn't a good long-term solution because if you starve for long enough, you die. But sometimes short periods of starvation would stop people's seizures, and sometimes they wouldn't come back. And so endocrinologists in the early 1900s started looking at this phenomenon, and one of the things they realized was that one of the things that happens when you starve is your liver produces these things called ketone bodies. And through other experiments, they found that we could get your body to create these ketone bodies without starving you if we put you on a very, very low carbohydrate diet. By very, very low, the original protocol was about 10 to 15 grams of carbohydrates a day. To put that in perspective, an apple has about 22 grams of carbohydrates. So half an apple, all your carbs for the day, done. So this diet was found to be very effective for treating epilepsy and was one of the primary treatments for treating epileptics until about 1938. When with the advancement of anticonvulsant drugs, it started becoming less and less popular until about 1970, when it became not used at all except in very severe cases because there are such good drugs on the market. Because guess what? Not eating any carbs any day at all ever is a very difficult thing to do, and most people don't want to do it, and adhering to a diet that's so strict is very tough. And one of the things that makes this different from many other diets is since the goal isn't to lose weight, but to get into a state called nutritional ketosis, you can cheat and mess up your diet. If you have one day of carbohydrates, even one meal with too many carbohydrates, it could kick your body out of ketosis, and it could take you anywhere between 3 days to a few weeks to get back to that nutritional state. So it's a very, very strict diet with a very, very extreme measurements to keep you in this certain nutritional state. Now, you might be wondering what's all this stuff about epileptics and seizures. Oh, and also it was found to be useful in the treatment of helping rehab people from traumatic brain injuries, such as concussions from sports or from car accidents. And also there's some good contemporary research that shows they can help delay or stop some neurodegenerative diseases such as dementia and Alzheimer's. So, why is it so talked about right now for weight loss? Well, the reason is because, like all strict diets, I can guarantee you, if you can follow a ketogenic diet, you will lose significant amounts of body fat and weight. And the reason for that is all of the junk foods that you traditionally think of, you just won't be able to eat because so many foods have some carbs in them. Pretty much on this diet, you are eating mostly meat, pure fat sources, and vegetables. It is the only way that you could possibly keep your carbohydrate levels low enough. And you can't overeat those foods the same way you can, say, pizza or potato chips or donuts. So, the diet's not designed for weight loss. It's designed to get you into a place called ketosis, and it will almost definitely help with weight loss. Now, I should note that when you use this diet to treat a medical problem, like epilepsy or a traumatic brain injury, you should do so under direct medical supervision. There are institutes around the world that specialize in doing things like that, and you don't want to treat a medical condition by yourself. If, on the other hand, you're using it just because you want to get into a state of ketosis for fat loss purposes, also there are a lot of the brain hacking crowd Probably the most famous one is Tim Ferriss, are big fans of it because they find that when they're in a state of ketosis, they can do things like focus better, think better, be more creative, hold their breath longer, all things that interest them. So if you want to do it to get those cognitive benefits or for fat loss, you probably don't need a medical professional, but it might be useful to get an experienced coach who's used to using the keto diet, because there's lots of misinformation about the ketogenic diet. I like to call some of these the keto imposters. For example, some people have this idea like, oh, I can just eat keto during the week and on the weekend eat carbs, and that won't get you into ketosis. That is something called carb cycling, which also can be an effective strategy for fat loss, but we don't expect you to get into nutritional ketosis and get the benefits by doing it. So, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and talk to you guys soon.